This is a HeadGum podcast.
Our song is the slamming screen door, sneaking out late, tapping on your window. When we're on the phone and you talk real slow, 'cause it's late and your mama don't know. Our song is the way you laugh. The first date, man, I didn't kiss her and I should have. And when I got home, for I said amen, asking God if he could play it again. That was Our Song by Taylor Swift. Actually, one of my favorite songs, kind of all time. I think some of Taylor Swift's best work. Now you're wondering, what year are we in? We are back in 2009, seemingly the most popular year here on Senior Superlatives. And you're wondering, what was happening in 2009? Well, I will quickly tell you. I'm just going to do little 5 tidbits because we've been here before. Avatar comes out. Huge. Avatar is about to come out again. Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs came out. The movie Up came out. Can you believe that? Right Round by Flo Rida featuring Kesha is one of the biggest songs. Same with Boom Boom Pow by Black Eyed Peas. Of course, GPS companies take a huge step in 2009 by enabling navigation on Apple's iPhones. In 2009, we got maps on our phones. Isn't that huge? Do we care about football? I don't know, but I'll tell you this much. The Steelers won, defeating the Arizona Cardinals in the Super Bowl. Do we care about golf? Maybe. Lucas Glover won the U.S. Men's Golf Championship. I don't know who he is. Modern Family came out. Can you believe that? And where are we in the year 2009? Why, we are in Houston, Texas. And who are we? We are Catherine Cohen.
Oh my.
I am just, my body is pulsating with pleasure.
I am levitating. I'm levitating off the couch.
I can't believe you're here.
I have to be open and honest with you. I've never done a podcast on camera, so I feel like I'm literally a movie star.
And I want everyone to know, Catherine had no idea that she was going to be on camera, and then comes looking absolutely camera ready. And that is when you know you have a star.
That's when you know you're in Los Angeles, California.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God, thank you for having me. This is heaven.
I am so thrilled to talk with you about your high school past because
I
frankly don't know much.
Well, there's not much. There's much to know, I have to say.
I feel like when I was on Seek Treatment moons ago.
Yeah, years and years and years.
About 25 years ago.
About more or less.
We briefly touched upon, but now here we are doing a deep dive. So, to just get us started, I just want to know, who were you? What was going on? What were you wearing? What were you listening to? Who were your friends? What was your high school like? Tell me everything.
Oh my God. So the main thing to know is that I went to 2 different high schools.
Okay.
I went to one school for freshman year because it was supposed to be it was an impressive school, but I went there, didn't have a single friend in the world. During lunch, I would literally go listen to the Rent, the movie soundtrack and eat alone in the library. And I was also, say it with me, on the South Beach diet. I was 14.
South Beach diet. I think we did talk about this. The iconic dessert that was skim ricotta cheese that you would mix with Splenda.
Sometimes I still have it. Isn't that so sad? I had it kind of recently. I know, it's so sad. I didn't know bread was bad for you. And then I turned 14 and my mom got me the South Beach diet book per my request. Okay. She didn't force it on me. And so I was, not having my breads. I was not having any friends. And I would wear I'll never forget what I wore because I grew up my whole life having uniforms until I went to this high school.
Did you go to Catholic school up until this point?
I went to a Baptist school,
Got it.
River Oaks Baptist. And then, so freshman year, I laid out my first day outfit. It was a green Lacoste polo. Kelly Green. Kelly lover.
Beautiful.
A denim Abercrombie & Fitch mini.
Love it.
Rainbow sandals.
Perfect.
Remember those?
Do I remember
the light tan
Honey,
leather?
Am I alive? Of course I remember.
Does she have a pulse?
Yeah.
Rainbow sandals, and then this is where it really gets. This is a nice segue. And a James Avery cross pendant necklace that was inside a heart. On
Beautiful.
A leather choker chain.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
What color leather? Brown?
Black leather and pin straight hair eyeliner in the waterline underneath.
Yeah. You have to.
Of course.
I think that is excellent first day of
Thank
school
you.
look. How short was the mini?
Short, too
Wow.
short. Too short to sit in class and learn.
Yes, because it was like when you sit down,
It's
your whole ass
crazy.
is touching the chair.
Bare ass on plastic school chair.
Yep.
And I'll never forget, my biology partner was this beautiful, beautiful, wealthy girl who dressed so well every day. I started keeping tabs on if she ever wore the same pair of shoes twice. Never did.
Absolutely, she can't.
Imagine being 14 and having enough shoes to change them every day to school.
Every day is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there were some repeats, but she always had a look. And so I
Well,
thought,
there's enough space between the shoe so that like maybe she wore one shoe on Monday the first week
Exactly.
of November. Come the third week of November, you've forgotten what the Monday first week shoe was, and now she can repeat it.
exactly. And I really wish her the best. She was really gorgeous.
So you were at this school for a year.
I was there for a year and I was so, so lonely. And all my friends from middle school had gone to a different high school. So they were all together, hanging out constantly. They must have been posting images on Facebook at the time. No, not Facebook. MySpace?
MySpace.
2009.
Well, so if we're in your freshman year, we're in 2005. And
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think-
No, you're right. I
we
didn't get a
don't have
Facebook till
access.
college.
We didn't get, we didn't have access to Facebook, I don't think, until you might have been able to have Facebook when you were like a sophomore in high school.
No, because I remember being really excited when I got my like university email address when I was like getting ready to go to
Right.
college. Then I started my Facebook.
Yeah.
But there must have been, I used to post on a website called Picture Trail.
Yeah, I was going to say Flickr.
Yeah, so I was
like,
seeing images of my friends having fun without me is the point. So FOMO existed long before Instagram.
For sure.
So eventually I would cry every night. I remember I joined the basketball team, but I bruised my tailbone. So I had to like,
God.
I couldn't like sit for, I mean, it was really dark. And eventually I begged my parents to let me switch to the school where all my friends went. And they said, yeah.
So then you went there sophomore year.
And then sophomore, junior, senior.
You went to this separate school though because it was more like academically rigorous.
It was like more impressive.
Got it.
But it was like far from my house. I didn't know anyone. So I ended up going to the school that like wasn't as good, but I loved it. But then it was sad because the other school had uniforms.
Oh, so you got to express yourself
For 1 year
for
only.
1 year and turn a bunch of looks in that 1 year. Did
Oh.
you make any friends at that school?
I did. I'm not telling the full truth. I did, and I'm still in touch with some of them today.
Okay.
But I just, when you're 14, it's like you just want so badly to be like with your girlies.
Oh, absolutely. When you're 14, your scope of the world is truly like till Friday, till like the end of the week.
yeah,
You know
and I
what
just
mean?
felt, and also like everyone else at the new high school had gone through middle school together, which made it so difficult.
Yes. I mean, I went through a similar experience.
Yeah.
I went to a boarding school
Oh my god.
for the first chunk of my freshman year, and then I left like halfway through and I transferred into my high school.
That's
And that was
hard.
hard because a lot of people at my high school were lifers, like they had been there since kindergarten.
Exactly.
And like then it's hard to break through, and then it's doubly hard to break through when I'm coming through I started going to that school in March of my freshman year, which is like at that
Spring
point,
break.
you have like 3 months left, and I got there and everyone was like, "Who is this?"
Oh, that's
person?
so. I'm like actually cringing for you.
Yeah, and I only went to school half days because
Why?
my boarding school that I came from was on a trimester system, so I technically was like had more credits.
Oh my god.
Because we also like at that boarding school, which was crazy. It was like trimester, school on Saturdays.
Oh,
like,
no.
It was crazy shit. It was that was like harder than any other schooling I've ever had in my life.
I can't imagine a new girl showing up looking stunning like you and only going for half the day. Everyone's like, why does she not have to go to school?
Everyone had no idea what my deal was.
I was like, why are you here and why do you not have to go to as much school as
People
me?
thought I was an ecstasy dealer.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, but I was like, why that? I mean, I did have a job. I like worked at a coffee shop when I would like.
You were dealing
school.
coffee.
I was stealing coffee
Legally. I've never even done ecstasy.
It's fun.
I'm sure.
So
What if I like
then-
it? What if I like it too much?
It's not too late.
I'm 30.
We can give you ecstasy
Today, girls, Tevi.
No.
tonight.
Tonight.
Tonight. So okay, now we're in your high school sophomore year. We're with all of your girls.
Mm-hmm.
What is the vibe of this high school? Is it cliquey? Because when I think
Yeah.
Texas, and I've said this to my
Oh.
fellow Texans that have come on the pod,
Mhm.
when I think Texas, I think football, I think cheerleaders, I think like want to meet out by the pit or whatever.
It's not full Friday Night Lights.
I don't know.
But I
what
would
that
love
is.
to go by the pit. I
Yeah.
was never invited to the pit, which was hard for me. It was a bit like that. It was very like country clubby, sorority, very Christian. Like I was deep, even though I'm half Jewish, I was like deep into youth group.
Yes.
And I would say I was not the popular girls. The popular girls, their parents were never home. They had parties at their houses. They were doing the drugs. They were having the parties. They call my friend group, even though we were sometimes at the parties. And even though I did start drinking when I was, say, with me, 15 American years old,
Good.
they still called us the God Squad.
You were on the God Squad?
They didn't say it to our face, but I knew they sometimes referred to us as that in passing.
That was the nasty little thing.
Yeah, like we were like nerdy and like we weren't like nerdy, but the cool girls looked down on us.
Wow, naming cliques.
Mm-hmm.
You know something sad about me and my clique? It was only
What was
me
that?
and one friend, and we went to separate high schools, and people would refer to us as Grenzy, which was our names combined, Greta and Kenzie. And
That sounds
Kenzie's-
like a chic band.
Kenzie's still one of my best friends to this day, lives
Amazing.
in LA. We talk all the time, but like Grenzy
Yeah.
was a real
It's guttural.
God Squad is really good.
It's really bleak. You also just unlocked a sense memory for me, and that my senior year, my friend group, as a joke, nominated me for homecoming court. And I had to walk across the football field at homecoming.
I'm confused. When you get nominated for homecoming court, see, this is what I mean. I didn't have this stuff.
It was kind of like a joke at our school. Like it wasn't like actually the most popular girl was going to get it. It was
Right.
like sort of a joke. It was like embarrassing to do it. So my friends like as a joke, it was kind of mean, like told everyone. So I had to go like walk across the field at the homecoming game.
That's
I remember
awful.
what I wore.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what were you wearing?
It was a patterned like sundress with long sleeves. I'd probably still wear it today.
I was gonna
actually.
say that feels very
I was like-
similar to like something you would wear today.
Yeah, I
Was
remember.
it short and long sleeves?
Yeah, and like probably cowboy boots.
I would say that's kind of the Catherine Cohen silhouette.
It is. It's kind of. I know the thing I might wear tonight is very much like Zara long sleeve V-neck
Beautiful.
boots. Anyways, so yeah, but we were not cool. But we would like no one invited me to the parties, but sometimes I'd end up
You
there.
would end up there. Were you a good student?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't even know why
I was
asking.
a complete monster.
Okay.
I was the girl in the front row of class being like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I was monstrous.
Wow.
I had an A- in one class, and I made my teacher give me an extra assignment so I could bump it to a straight A.
Holy shit.
I don't know why. You know why? You know why?
Why?
Because to this day, I'm convinced if I'm not successful, I'm not worthy of love.
Well, yeah, I mean, same, but it's interesting. I almost had like the reverse psychology as you in high school, where I
How
was
so?
kind of like, this doesn't fucking matter. And
I wish
was
I felt
like-
that way.
But it was to my detriment. You know what I mean? Because then it also didn't give me the self-esteem and like the skills that I could do stuff like that as I got older. You know what I mean? Because I think my whole mentality was like probably predominantly rooted in fear of failure.
Of course.
That then I would like, fail and then disappoint my parents and my parents who were so work obsessed and like success driven parents. Then all of a sudden they would have like this failure of a daughter. So in my mind, I was like, oh, well, then I'll just fail knowingly. And then like if I don't try, then I'm protecting myself in some way. Whereas I
Yeah.
think that when you're younger and you teach your brain to like try really hard at something, then when you're older, you know that you can get positive results from doing that.
But then I'm curious because now you work so hard. So when did it flip? When were you like, oh, now I'm getting it in
When
gear?
it flipped, when I wasn't like in fucking trigonometry
Yeah.
class working on some bullshit that I didn't care about.
Literally, I love math. I literally get off. I got off in
You and
geometry.
Abe,
I was
you
like,
and Abe.
X equals Y plus negative B.
My brain, I was so bad at math that my teacher was literally like, I think you have something wrong
Shut the
with you.
fuck up.
Yes,
No.
yes. I was
Oh my God.
so bad at math. But then the things that did click with me in math were also like the hardest things that,
You're a genius. You're a savant.
I mean, no, I'm not a savant, but it was like, I am a savant with certain things, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, cameras.
There's
Yeah,
so
I'm a
many
savant.
cameras. My God.
I'm a savant at looking at the lens.
You should see the absolute squalor in which I record my podcast.
No.
I lie in my bed holding a microphone on Zoom. I'm like this.
It's good.
It's heaven.
Okay. I don't know. Like, I wonder if you and I would have been friends in high school.
No. No, you were like cool.
You would have hated me.
No, you know, here's the deal is that, so the issue is that even though I was in this like preppy whatever, I was like the one who like no boys ever liked, whatever. And I had this like secret like indie emo side that I was too scared to express. Like I'd go home and listen to like Death Cab for Cutie,
Sure.
like, all that. But then I wouldn't actually walk the walk. You were walking the walk and I would have been envious of you.
You probably would have been like that like low life fuck face who like doesn't try. I was falling asleep in class.
Yeah, I would have
was
been really,
nodding off.
really judgmental.
You would have thought I was like bad.
I once sent like a particularly obnoxious email to our class president requesting that that I deserved an extra free period because I took honors classes and I worked harder than everyone else. And he was like, you don't work harder than everyone else. You're a stuck-up bitch. And I was like, it's true.
I'm obsessed with you in
I
high
was
school.
I was horrible. But I think it all felt like I was like, if I have to stay here in Texas and become like a country club mom, like all my friends like seemed like they wanted to. I was like, I will never fit in. I'll be miserable. I have to escape room.
Right.
High school was an escape room.
I also envision you doing a ton of extracurriculars.
Yeah. You got that right.
Like, I feel like you were
You must be
doing
clairvoyant because that's exactly what I was doing.
You were on student body.
No, I wasn't
No?
student body, but I played sports and I did theater.
Were you doing like any clubs? Were you doing like mock trial or like debate or anything like that?
No, we didn't really have that. I was just doing all the plays and the shows, and then I played basketball and volleyball.
Were you booking?
No, I never got a lead role in my whole life to save my life.
Wow, really?
Well, my high school was like had a really good theater program and everyone was really talented.
Was it competitive?
Yes, and even like one of my friends from high school theater, like is literally on that new show with Joel Kim Booster, the Maya Rudolph show.
Oh, really?
Her name is Stephanie Styles. She's one of my best friends to this day.
That's so
it's like people were amazing. She's like been on Broadway and stuff, so it's like she was booking.
I think Stephanie Styles and I auditioned for the same part on that new
I think you probably did.
Probably did.
I think you probably did.
Awesome. No.
But yeah, like people were so good that I had some fun roles, but never the lead I wanted.
Yeah.
But that like put a fire in me.
Did your theater teacher like you?
No. And that put a fire in me.
Yep.
Like fuck you.
This is the tie that binds
yes.
all of us on this podcast.
Yes, like our theater teacher didn't like us.
Yes. It's like theater teacher hated. Like
hated.
I hated my theater teacher. Hated me. It was as if I felt like emotionally like I had killed her dog.
Oh my God.
You know, like it was like that level. Like,
who did she like at your high school?
Well, of course she loved Patrick Foley.
Of course.
Because he is a brilliant actor and he is so talented, but he was also like the only boy. Is that
I don't know who that is.
Oh, I thought you knew Patrick.
Is he an actor?
He's an actor.
Oh, okay, I thought you were saying, of course.
Well, I thought that you knew Patrick. Well,
shout out to Patrick.
Patrick
doesn't call, he doesn't write.
Patrick famously, his play Circle Jerk was nominated for a Pulitzer.
Oh, don't mind if I do.
Don't mind if I do.
So he went to your high school, of course.
He went to my high school, and then he went to NYU, and then he proceeded to go to Yale and get
my God.
MFA. And
I'm humiliated that I don't know Patrick Foley.
I mean, you would love. I'll introduce you guys.
Fabulous.
But like, do you know Gianmarco Soresi?
Yeah.
Went to my high school.
I know who that is. Oh, yeah.
He adored by the theater teacher.
Yeah.
Do you know Ethan Slater, aka SpongeBob SquarePants?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Adored.
What a high! Wow, we have really impressive alums at our school.
You know, I don't know if my theater program was impressive. I think that we just had like talented people there. I don't know if it was impressive. It always felt schlocky to me, but that's also me being bitter because I was like, "Fuck you guys," and I was getting stoned with like, you know, this guy who I had a huge crush on and building sets. That was my vibe.
That sounds fun though.
Was it fun? I don't know.
Where's the guy now?
I have no idea, but his name was O'Neill, and he had a brother named Fiery.
Fiery?
And I'm like, I would always
sick.
The joke would always be like, "That's what you're gonna get if you have sex with him, a fiery."
I mean, pretty good. Pretty good joke. Save it for the stage.
So okay.
Yeah, no. My theater teacher hated me, and then it was. He ended up like loving my little brother, so it was like, okay, you hate me, you love my brother, whatever, bye.
That's very annoying.
But shout out, I wish them the best, of course.
Were you stressed out? Yes.
Yes, I'm not. Stress doesn't begin to cover it. Like,
were you getting?
I'm still unpacking. I'm still like trying to let myself enjoy my life for a second.
Yeah, it's hard.
I know.
When did you start feeling the pressure?
from myself from the second I was born.
Yeah.
I kind of chilled out in college, actually. And then like moving to New York and then everyone being like,
Yeah.
we're going to be famous.
Then it like clicked in again.
Then all of that like old, like I have to be the best.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to just appreciate my life and, you know, my talents and not compare myself to other people, but it's hard.
Oh, it's absolutely so hard.
I know.
I mean,
I don't know if you can relate, but
I can't relate at all.
I know.
Personally,
I figured.
I wake up every morning.
Yeah.
And I have been this way since the day I was born,
Mm-hmm.
where I wake up and I'm so assured
Oh,
in
perfect.
everything, in
That's
myself and
awesome.
everything they do. Confidence unwavering. Everything that I plan on doing, I do.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's amazing. And I never second guess, and I just do it. And then when I get feedback, I don't internalize it. I don't take it personally.
Totally.
I don't think it's an attack on who I am.
No.
No, I just take it and I say thank you. And then
And God bless you.
and then
May
every
the Lord keep
single
you.
thing that I try and do gets done.
That's fabulous. I think you and I are similar in that we oscillate between like extreme confidence and extreme like
Oh, self-loathing.
absolute.
But these are patterns that started in high school. That's why I do this show, because
unpack
I
it.
need to unpack everyone else's issues.
I know. But it's funny because for me, like my parents weren't even hard on me. Like I was just so hard on myself because I was so scared of being stuck in an environment where I felt like I'd never fit in. When in reality, I could have happily gone to like the University of Texas and made like amazing friends. But all I knew about UT was like sorority, like hell.
Right.
So
But didn't your parents, because you went to a very prestigious college,
yes.
and didn't your
Yes,
father
thank
go
you for
there?
noticing. My dad went there, yes, so I always wanted to go there.
Yeah. See that? I think that we have subconscious pressures that are put on
You're right.
ourselves.
You're right.
Where it's like, you know, that's how I always felt, at least with my parents, where I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, my parents are so successful and
Yeah.
so smart and so like clicking at this rate that like I want to be there too, you know?
You're 100% right. It's in there whether or not we admit it.
On that note, I think we need to take a little pause for a commercial break.
Oh, buy the thing.
Buy whatever it is. And we're back.
Oh, a fab. Welcome home.
So when you thank you. When you are thinking, oh, also, did you go by Catherine or Kat in high school?
I've always gone by Catherine.
Yeah.
My whole life.
Yeah.
I think it's cool when people call me Kat and I feel honored, but you know what? You're in your head and you're like, that's not my name.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because my cousin, her name is Elizabeth. And then she went through this phase where in college, everyone called her Liz. And I was always like, that's not her name.
That's Elizabeth.
Her name is Elizabeth.
Her name's Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Guess what people call me in high school?
Kitty cat.
Critter.
Critter. What?
Yeah.
Were you bullied?
Yeah. I mean, I think I was almost like I was like bullied by my friends. Like I was like the joke.
Were your friends also overachievers?
No.
Because there were like cliques
No.
in my high school and like my class where I felt like, oh, that clique, it was like that clique, everyone went to MIT, everyone went to like
No, I was
Harvard.
not in that at all. Like it was all my friends were not.
Yeah.
They were not stupid. They're incredible people, but no.
You didn't have a boyfriend in high school.
I'm laughing.
Did you kiss anyone in high school?
No.
No?
I did eventually kiss someone.
Okay.
Senior year, I was kind of drunk and I was going through the drive-thru of a Taco Cabana and I made out with someone I'd had a crush on, but he never liked me and I kept trying to make him like me.
Taco Cabana.
Taco Cabana.
You wanted him in your Taco Cabana.
Cabana.
Um,
Cabana.
But this seems very counterintuitive to me that you were drinking.
I know.
I don't how does that fit in?
Well, I remember, I can tell you exactly how it began. We
Please.
were 15, beginning of the school year, sophomore year, and we're all sitting at one of our friends' house. And I don't know who brings it up, but someone's kind of like, there was a dance coming up.
Okay.
And we're like, what if before the dance, we tried alcohol?
What kind of alcohol?
Well, get ready. So then we had like email. We had like laptops at my school, and we wanted to email each other about the party and the plans, but we didn't want to say alcohol, so we called them T-shirts. We're like, I'm bringing the T-shirts to Hillary's, then we're going, and she'll bring the T-shirts to the
Smart.
car. That was our incredibly genius code word. The way we got alcohol was that my friend was friends with a lifeguard at the local pool who was older than us and bought us a bottle of 1-2-3 Blue Hypnotic.
Gorgeous.
So we drank the Hypnotic in the back of my friend's Tahoe and then went to the dance.
And were you drunk?
Not that time. Eventually I did get drunk, too drunk often.
Yeah.
And my parents never found out until like senior year.
Were they upset?
At that point, senior year, they were just like, whatever.
Maybe they were relieved.
My mom just like, I came home like smelling like booze. My mom's just like, go to bed.
I mean, I've talked about this before on the podcast, but I smoked so many cigarettes and so much pot
Really?
in high school. Yeah, that like I would come home and my parents would be like, "Were you smoking?" And I would be like, "No, like
I know.
I
it's so
wasn't
silly.
smoking." But it's like, of course, like you reek of cigarettes, you reek of weed for so long.
Yeah, I was really scared of getting caught. I got in trouble once for, it was a classic. It was like a high school movie. I accidentally threw a party. Like I invited like 10 friends over. All of a sudden, it's like the whole school's there.
Sure.
I wake up, my like front door of my family's house is completely open. There's like trash everywhere. My parents found out and I was in big trouble.
Did you get grounded?
Yeah, of course.
For how long?
Like 2 weeks.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it like wasn't bad at all.
Oh my
But
God.
I was old. I was such a good girl at heart.
Yeah. I was a good girl at heart, trapped in doing dumb bad girl things.
Yeah.
But I wasn't even that bad compared to like the real bad girls. I was not that
What were they doing?
Oh, like, I don't know, like having anal and like doing a bunch of coke and like stealing and
It would be years
know.
before I would do anal and coke and steal.
I mean, it would be a year before I would do it. Be one calendar year before,
One calendar before you do
before I
anal,
did
coke,
coke and
steal.
anal and steal. Sadly,
I do steal.
Sadly, I just have never stolen.
I have never
the trio,
stolen.
I've never.
I have never stolen, but one time I had been working at this shop with an E at the end, and we were allowed to like try on. I just like walked out with something once.
An honest mistake.
An honest mistake.
When you think back to your high school time, is there like one story that sticks out in your brain that is so quintessentially Catherine Critter Cohen?
I don't know if that, but I have a very embarrassing. I remember like I wasn't invited to this party. Like I shouldn't have been there, but my friends were all going. I went with them. And we've been at like some like concert. We're probably seeing like we always used to go to like Dave Matthews Band, like
Love.
sit on the hill, go to the rodeo, like watch George Strait. Like
I would love to go and see Dave Matthews again.
it was so fun. But we went to this girl's like after party at her house, and I truly just walked in, immediately projectile vomited on her rug, and then I pretended I didn't do it. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Who did that?" And everyone was like looking at me like, "You did that," and I was like, "That's weird." And then I just like left, and then like I saw the girl years later, and we were still laughing. She was like, "That was horrible." No, she was nice about it, but I was like, "That was so embarrassing."
There is nothing worse than needing to clean up another person's vomit.
Absolutely humiliating.
And that happens all the time. In high school, I would say high school students are constantly troubleshooting
Oh,
because you need to figure out, how am I going to clean this shit up?
oh, it was so bad.
One time, my good friend came over and we were like drinking out of my parents' liquor cabinet,
Yeah.
which was like which was stupid. And her little brother came, and her little brother was her little brother, I think, just turned 16 and was like her DD.
Oh my God.
And of course, he ends up getting wasted.
Oh, no.
So then he couldn't actually be the DD, but he drank like basically an entire bottle of Crown Royal.
It's so
And
classic.
He vomited. I grew up in a museum. I grew up
Oh my
in
God.
my dad is crazy OCD. I grew up in a super modern, super like stark home with matte white walls that even
no.
if you had just washed your hands so thoroughly, like your fingerprint would stay. This kid,
No.
for some reason, winds up in the bathroom in my dad's like office area, which also connected to where we were drinking, which was like the patio. I lived in an
Oh.
apartment. He gets out of the bathroom. I don't know what happened. He must have had vomit all over his hands.
Oh no.
And he wiped vomit
No.
all over the walls, all over my family's like
Oh,
bleach white walls. And I was so drunk. And I remember seeing that being like, what the fuck. And that was the first time. And then after that, I realized the power of this when I did one of those, everybody get the fuck out.
Yes.
I was like, you gotta get the fuck out of my house right fucking now.
That's the classic.
But the way that my father used to catch me having parties, because I developed his like OCD cleaning nature. So I would be like the most thorough post-party home cleaner ever. But the way that he would catch me is he would look at our wood floors at a certain angle and he could see if there were corners with multiple footprints that I didn't clean up. And that would be literally...
That's insane.
He was like Monk.
That's
He
truly
literally was like Monk.
Oh my God. Oh, it's so awful.
It's awful.
Yeah, so like I just remember like we just didn't know how much alcohol did what to you. So it's like
No.
I would steal my parents' like vodka and then put water in it, the classic.
Yep.
Ozarka,
Because vodka and water taste exactly
the same. But, you know, Zarka bottle full of vodka, and I would just like chug the whole thing, and then I'd be like, you know, then my friends, it's like it was a disaster.
Awful.
And then because I was like Christian, I felt so guilty about it, and there was lots of crying and feeling guilty.
So you were half Jewish, or you
Yeah.
are half Jewish,
Yeah.
half Christian.
Yeah.
What led you to pick one over the other? Was it just
I
you
didn't
were
pick. It
raised?
was just like I went to these Christian like private schools, and so
Right.
everyone, I didn't really know any Jewish people.
Everyone in the surrounding neighborhoods were Christian.
Yeah, and it was like the cool thing to do to like go to the youth group, go to camp, like
Yeah, I
whatever.
was gonna say, I famously know that you went to Christian summer camp.
Oh my God, I know. I recently unlocked a traumatic memory in that I remember even when I eventually did start having sex, I forgot for like an entire year I would like cry after every time because I felt so guilty.
Oh my God.
Isn't that horrible? Not to get dark.
I wish that I could just like go to little teen Catherine and
I
like
know.
give you a big hug and a Xanax.
It's so stupid.
Oh my God, speaking of Xanax, is that a knock I hear on the door? Why, yes, it is. We are in the high school guidance counselor's office,
Oh.
honey. And guess what? I am your licensed high school guidance counselor.
Thank you.
And the amazing thing about what we do here in my office is we kind of talk about something that happened in your high school past, something that still bothers you to this day. And then we talk about it once and then you are cured. You never think about it again. I also have some apple juice should you be having low blood sugar.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Guidance Counselor.
You're welcome. I would really fucking slay it as a high school guidance
Absolutely.
counselor. My tits fucking up to my chin.
So horny.
Sitting on the desk when students
Legs
are-
crossed,
Yeah.
pencil skirt, blouse bursting at the seams. Absolutely.
So tell me, Catherine, is there an event of high school past that you would like to kind of, you know, rectify? Something that's been gnawing at you after all these years? It could be something you've done or something someone's done to you.
Oh.
It can be really anything. You can yield this time to say sorry, to say fuck you to someone, whatever it is you want to do. You can just go wild.
Oh, you know, it's funny because in many ways I still feel like too connected to like that. Like there are things I'd want to say that I
But
could.
you can't say publicly.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Which is crazy because it's been what year is it?
Let's see. I'm a year above you. So I graduated high school, I think, 15 years ago. Wait.
Yeah, but it's
not
been like
14
15
ago?
years, and I'm still like I'm scared they'll know.
I
Um,
understand.
I think the main thing I have to unpack is that, you know, when I fell into the youth group culture, I felt so guilty for every single thing I did.
Mm.
For every drink, every lusty thought, I would masturbate and feel so guilty. And I love masturbating. I should be able to do that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should.
So I'm just sad because I think God is a really cool idea, and I think I still believe in a God. And I think God is like cool, could be cool in the way that like crystals or like saging stuff is cool.
Yeah.
But these churches, they really ruin it.
Yeah, and you feel like it kind of negatively impacted your ability to enjoy certain aspects of the high school
Yeah, like
experience.
the shame that like the church youth group, like the shame.
It was
blank-
Baptist?
I ended up going to this like Presbyterian church. But the way that these like youth leaders would talk about like women's roles and like what sex means, like this, like I still to this day, like every now and then will be like, oh, and I have to like get rid of like that feeling that I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, gross or sinful or like whatever. It's crazy.
I mean,
So I would say fuck you to that, like, those random youth group people who made me feel bad about loving my body and my horniness.
you were going to youth group through high school.
Like, through all of high school, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and there's some people from that experience I still really love and cherish.
No, for sure.
But a lot of them are very misguided, and I think it's really upsetting. And I would never want my children to be sucked into that.
Yeah. The shame is really real. I also think that when you're a teenager, you inherently feel so much shame, just like existing in your body and your thoughts.
Oh
and
my God.
You're awkward and you're like, I don't know, you feel bigger than you are and you don't have the autonomy that you want. And I think that it's almost like compounding on pre-existing feelings that you already have inside of you.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember, like, I'd look at, like, my naked body in the mirror and be like, this is disgusting. Only one person's ever going to see this. My husband, it'll be in the dark. So I'm okay. Isn't that insane? Now I'm like, la, 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 la.
That is so funny.
It's so sad and stupid.
I
It's Stoopy. It's stoopy.com.
No, it's a part of the fabric that makes you
Yeah.
who you are.
The tapestry that is my life.
But what I would say to you is masturbate freely, don't feel shame.
Okay, cool.
Have premarital sex.
Oh.
As I know you
You are
do.
such a horny guidance counselor.
And don't feel shame. Fuck with the lights on. Watch yourself
Oh, I
in
do.
the mirror.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it?
Make a video and then delete it after. You know, enjoy.
The other day, Brian and I were at this hotel and we were like having sex in the mirror. Like, he was behind me. We were looking at each other in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, I look really good. And afterwards, I was kind of like, and he was like, whoa. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I looked really hot.
I mean,
I was like, you did, King. You're okay.
that's actually the truth. And no one wants to talk about the fact that when you fuck in a mirror, both looking in the mirror, each individual is looking at themselves.
Yeah, usually. Yeah. It's like I have to be like,
Well, because it's not like it isn't normal, quote unquote, to be staring at your reflection while you're getting fucking railed.
yeah,
So then you are curious to see
of course.
what does that girl look like?
Yeah, I'm like, what is this girl's body? Like, you know, it's
What does my body do? What does
my back
face
doesn't
do?
arch enough is what I want to share. I
Mm.
feel like I'm always hunched over. I'm like, there's nothing. I'm like always like, my spine is curved forward, but that's like feels good.
I mean, if that's what feels good.
I know, but I
then-
want to be like, oh.
I know. You want to have that swoop.
I don't have a swoop. My butt is kind of like, even though it's wide and I have big hips, it's kind of flat.
You want that like Beyonce partition
Mhm.
when she like slides down that like little stool thingy.
Absolute.
That is the dream.
Oh,
I know. God.
so is my guidance counselor. You're telling me to get a
Yeah.
BBL.
I'm telling you to get a BBL. Stretch out your fucking back.
Yes.
Go to yoga.
Spread it.
Spread it. If you could go back in time and give your high school self any advice, what would it be?
You're killing it.
Wow. That is not what I was expecting you
I
to
was like,
say.
I was gonna say, well, I was thinking on the walk over here. I was like, ultimately, I don't regret anything because whoever slighted me or whatever pissed me off, like, just encouraged me to like find my path.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I also like ultimately, even if this is an unpopular opinion, I did have a lot of fun in high school and I did have some great friends and some good memories. So
I mean, it sounds like you didn't endure a ton of peer trauma.
no, I wasn't. I mean, it was upsetting that like people seemed like what's the word I'm looking for? People seemed incapable of having a crush on me, which was I was just like, am I absolutely disgusting?
You felt very desexualized.
Completely like a huge joke, but no one was rude to me. It just felt like it just sucked that like anyone I liked, it was automatically like no, you know, because it's not even about if you're attractive. It's like if people have known you for so many years, they just know like, oh, we're not allowed to like her.
Yeah.
Is how it felt.
Yeah, there were a lot of rules
Right?
in terms of like dating and liking people in high school.
How many high school boyfriends did you have?
A million. No, that's not true.
Love it.
I had 2 serious high school boyfriends. And when I have
Yeah.
been asked in the past if I could go back and give my high school self any advice, I would be like, dump those fucking boyfriends.
Yeah.
My mom was always like, don't have a boyfriend. Don't have a boyfriend. It's a
Mm.
waste of time. Like, enjoy this. But I was like, I was like a lovesick puppy for these two boys. And it was intense.
It's inevitable because even though I didn't, that just made me crave it so much when I got to college that it like took over my brain.
But
you know
it
what I mean?
really is like, imagine that's you in college when like at 18 your brain is like more developed.
Slightly
when you are
more.
like 16, 15,
I can't even
whatever,
fathom.
It possessed me. Like I literally felt sick. I don't know how else to describe it.
Makes
like,
perfect sense.
You can't see anything else other than you are wholly convinced that that is your person for the rest of your life. And I know people from my high school who have married each other.
Same.
And I'm like, whoa. I mean, I
Not
would
for
not
me.
want to marry anyone I dated in high school.
There is no one in my high school who I would consider marrying.
No, me either.
Though there was this guy who was kind of cute, but we weren't even really friends. And I saw him a couple years ago at the Equinox. And I was like, hi.
Hello, bonjour, bonjour.
And I kind of was like, you should come to a show sometime. And I think he was like, I'm married with kids. What of?
Did you have a senior superlative?
You know, it's kind of embarrassing. I think I think mine was most likely to be on SNL,
Was it?
which I'm kind of not on.
Here's the thing, though. First of all, that was never. It's crazy to me that was such a common superlative in high school.
Yeah, it's like it was such a big. I mean, it
I
still
guess
is.
it wasn't. I guess no. Yes.
I'm like, Greta, SNL is a really popular program.
But I do think that when we were in high school, it was.
yeah, it's like, who's the
it was
funny
like
one? Who's the
peak?
yeah?
It was peak SNL time.
Especially because one of my friends was like on the yearbook committee, so she knew me really well, and like I was like the funny one in the friend group, so I think she just kind of threw that in there.
Did you always want to be in entertainment?
I always wanted to be an actress.
Mm.
Yeah, so
love
crazy.
No, I mean, I always wanted to be an actress too.
Yeah.
And then you know, you have to when you have adults that are deranged telling you that you are not good.
Yeah.
Then it makes you pivot. But then you realize in the pivot, oh, this is not what I want to do at all, and then you ultimately pivot back.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
I was kind of like, even though my theater teachers weren't like supportive, I was kind of like, I know I'm really good though.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I always kind of felt too.
Yeah, we got that special something.
But then I don't know. I still think there is that annoying part of being a teen where you're like, but someone has to tell me I can. Like, I don't know. I see these teens now, and maybe because the internet has just exploded in such a bigger way
Mhm.
that I think like pre-internet, like my brother's generation, if you graduated in like 80s and 90s, even early aughts from high school, you didn't have anything to compare yourself to other than like the pop culture that you took in from magazines or whatever, or MTV. And then like we were hit with this weird first wave internet consumption where we were able to experience more of these things like FOMO and comparative situation. And then I think it got really bad. And now I think that like all of these kids have just grown up with it their whole life, that they're so like comfortable and confident and well-spoken and feeling like unstoppable to me when I see them on like TikTok and shit. But then I'm like, no, I need to remember they're all just little shells of human beings still.
But also it's so scary because I always read things that say like, 90% of teens say their dream job is to be a content creator.
I know.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I know, it's real.
You need to have like a true like
I want to have it. I want to have a high
grad
schooler on.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
High schooler. If you're a high schooler and you're listening to this podcast and you're 18 plus, okay,
A recent high school grad.
or consent from a parent, would love to have you on the show. LA locals only.
I think local hire.
Local hire.
I think that'd be like so fascinating.
Rapid fire questions before we wrap
Oh.
up, because I think we have to wrap up. What did you wear to your senior prom?
Actually, an amazing dress that I would still wear today.
What did it look like?
One shoulder, the top was gray, and then the skirt was kind of like puffy cupcake short, like a teal and gray pattern.
Beautiful.
It was really cute, and I had like a sort of braided crown around my head.
Did you have a date?
No one asked me to my prom, obviously, so I asked a friend from another school, and he came with me.
That's fun.
It was fun. It was like not at all sexy or exciting, but it was like fine.
Did you get drunk at prom?
No, we had like a sip of Kahlua,
Mm.
which is kind of all we had access to.
And then after?
No, I was sober, and then we went to Dave and Buster's after.
Did you ever smoke a cigarette in high school?
No, I smoked a clove cigarette in my driveway with my friend.
I love that.
Yeah.
Were you a journaler?
Yeah, I have an 80-page Word document of high school poetry.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Do you remember anything off the top of your head that you'd like to share with us?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What song would you listen to and you would be like, this song emotionally understands me?
Oh. I really liked Iron and Wine. But I can't remember the name of the track. But what I was going to tell you is that my friends and I, we were so obsessed with Taylor Swift's Our Song.
It's a great song.
We burned a CD where it was just Our Song 12 times, and we'd drive around listening to it.
Our song is
slamming screen door, sneaking out late, tapping on his window.
Yeah.
When he's on the phone and
real slow. I mean, that's when Taylor Swift was still singing about God.
I fucking love her.
You probably really identified with her, though.
I really connect to her.
Because she's like our age, and there she was with her guitar, talking about amen, talking about the Lord.
I know, and the boys and the teardrops and the guitar.
Iron and Wine. Was Garden State big for you?
Yeah, I loved like the Shins. And
yeah. Just last night I woke from some unconscious dream, or whatever he says. I love the Shins. I still listen to the Shins all the time.
Oh, same. Like, in some ways, my musical taste is very stuck in like the early 2010s.
Oh, for sure. I feel the same way.
Sufjan was big. Like,
yeah.
Who else?
Sufjan wrecks me because Sufjan gives me takes me immediately back to my boyfriend, my junior year of high school. And in such a way that it's almost like there are songs that just like rip me apart if I hear them.
Yeah.
And you know what song also really gets my goat? Flashing Lights by Kanye West.
Oh.
Do you remember that song? Like
no.
Flashing.
Oh, yeah. Lights.
Yeah. Do, do,
oh, my God. I'm trying to think.
It's
we were obsessed with Soulja Boy in high school, too.
Yeah. Soulja Boy, tell him.
On the party bus.
Yeah.
To Cotillion.
It's Cotillion.
Cotillions were the girls asked the guys.
We didn't even talk about Cotillion.
It's a whole other next episode.
Did you have a deb ball?
No, God, no. I went to many deb balls.
But you didn't have one.
Definitely not my family's vibe, no.
Cotillion, Foxtrot.
Cotillion was like, we took some like dance classes, and then we had a big party where everyone got like just wasted.
Yeah.
With like the two other like schools nearby.
Would you wear gloves and stuff like that?
No, just like a cocktail dress.
Would you have a big Southern Belle blowout?
Yeah.
Did you have a Texas accent?
No.
No, you always.
Houston's like such a big
city.
Metropolitan city.
That people aren't really talking like twang.
I have friends who have twang, sure.
Yeah.
My mom has a little twang. She's from there.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
We love a twang.
We love a twang.
What was your favorite snack food in high school? Your go-to snack?
Oh, go-to snack. I have a very visceral memory of being on the South Beach diet and my mom.
How long were you on the South Beach diet
like
for?
Just a year, but I was like, it was so intense and so traumatic. My mom brought me like a cooked hamburger patty with no bun wrapped in tinfoil to pick me up, and I would eat like the...
Yeah. The urge to have control of your body as a teenager, as a woman, is just something that never quite seems to leave you.
It definitely doesn't.
Never get to shake it.
I totally swung the other direction and was like binge eating so much like the next 2 years.
Well, it's all about balance. Speaking of balance, today's episode is brought to you by Luna Bar. This is the very first diet I ever went on in high school.
God.
This episode is not actually brought to you by Luna Bar, but I would just like to do a special shout out to this lemon zest flavor Luna Bar because nothing triggers me more than this bar. And I'm a glutton for punishment, and I ate half of it.
Gorgeous.
Catherine,
Something's never changed.
Something's never changed. A oldie but a goodie.
Absolute.
Oh, wait. My final question.
Yeah.
I had 2 final questions, just because you're a fun person to do this with. Were you one of those people that had like a meticulous and gorgeous schedule?
Yes. Not meticulous. I'm very organized, but I wouldn't say it was pretty looking.
Do you have good handwriting?
No.
Really?
Do you?
Yes. By force, because I'm a lefty.
Oh, I
So-
love a lefty. So chic.
I'm a lefty, and I would drag, and I was the one psycho that would write in pen in high school.
Oh my God.
And I would drag, so then I had to learn how to not smudge. So now I write in all caps.
Oh, that's amazing.
I mean, it looks like I'm screaming.
in some ways you are.
I mean, when I am screaming, though, like when I journal,
Yeah.
I do like triple underline things.
Obsessed. Need to read.
Yeah, it's my journals are. I
Juicy.
have my journal. I could read you a journal.
Oh,
entry.
please, immediately.
Okay.
How do you have one? You've always kept one?
Oh no! I thought I was like way too cool for journals when I was in high school. Journals. I was
this
like,
is a
"You're
recent-
pussy." Oh yeah, I'm gonna read you a recent entry.
I'm so excited.
Let's read one from. Okay. This is this is from September 22nd of 2021.
Absolutely incredible.
Okay. I do feel slightly better. The set went fine. The audience was meh, but I really don't think that was fully because of me. Excited to get back into it again, I guess. And I'm happy to remember stand-up's fun. I think if I just continue to be creative and push myself, I'll feel more in control and fulfilled.
Yes.
I also think Stepmom Podcast is going to be better than I thought. I really want to get back into my show development mode.
Can I see the handwriting?
And book, but one thing at a time.
That's a very, very rational. Oh, stunning. You sound
Yeah.
very measured and together in that journal
Well,
entry.
then the journal entry before, it's not good, you know?
It can't be shared.
It's not good. It's really not good. But, you know, now I have to, my therapist wants me to practice compassion exercises.
Oh, I need that too. How do you do that?
I'm really bad at them because I put so much pressure on myself. And when it starts to feel like homework takes me back to being 15, where I'm like, I can't do this. She sends me like compassion worksheets, and my brain, I'm so fucked that my brain is like, you don't love yourself enough. You can't even do that fucking worksheet.
Oh,
It's not good. Anyway, today's episode's also sponsored by Lexapro, a 2.5 milligram dose every day.
I just stopped my Prozac, so it's also sponsored by 20 milligrams Prozac.
Together, Catherine Cohen and I are sponsored by the pharmaceutical industry of the United States. Thank you so much.
And that will not be included.
Okay, Catherine.
Greta, Heaven.
Can
Heaven to be with
we
you.
go to the mall together one day?
I know. I wish we could go today, but I'm too.
No, just say
Too tight.
generally. I want to go to the mall.
I
in
adore the
Houston,
mall.
Texas with you.
The Galleria.
I would
We'll
love.
go. It's huge.
I would love to go.
It's like 5 malls.
I want you to take me to all of this.
You should come. I know next time, it was a shame we didn't overlap at Moon Tower because Pat and I went back to Houston and hung
I
out
want to
with
go to the
family.
mall with you,
Yeah.
and I want to just. I want to study with you. Honestly.
My friend and I used to make studying more fun. We'd read the textbook to each other in British accents.
That is fun.
And it was fun.
That is fun. Theater.
Theater of the absurd.
Catherine, you know, everyone that's listening to my podcast, I'm sure already listens to your podcast.
I hope so.
And if they don't,
Check it out, y'all.
it's called Seek Treatment
Mm-hmm.
with Kat and Pat.
And it can be found on all the all the websites.
And watch Catherine's amazing special on Netflix.
Please watch it. Please.
So fabulous.
It's so good.
Is there anything else I'm missing? Buy Catherine's poetry book. The poetry became
Oh, thank you.
real.
The
Not-
poetry did become real.
It did
That's
become
beautiful.
real. Wow. What is another stunning ride of an episode.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for
And thank you
doing
to
it.
her
Yeah, thank
for
you.
bringing us here.
Thank you to her.
Compassion.
Yeah, no, I do look at her and I say, how did no one see that haircut was a cry for help?
It's just amazing the way you pivoted into absolute glam.
You know, we loved that
Oh my
scene.
God, the set is
in
so good,
all
the
those
SAT book.
movies. Yeah.
You know, I was an SAT tutor too, so I had to relive it all over again.
When were you an SAT tutor?
Like when I first moved to New York and graduated.
Did you get perfect boards?
No, I definitely didn't get perfect scores. But the thing was, it was like I graduated college and all of a sudden I was literally taking the SAT again. And I was like, this is backwards.
Yeah, no, that is backwards.
Anyways, Now I just make millions, billions doing
Yeah.
little slutty songs.
Yeah. I also make $1 billion. I actually
Per
make $1 billion
episode?
per episode. of
Yeah,
the
you're paying me
show.
$1 million for this, right?
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Love that.
Thank you so much for
Thank you so much to everyone.
Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you so much for listening to Senior Superlatives. Thank you for supporting me in my artistic endeavors. I hope you continue to support. And we love you. And as we say every week on the pod, stay cool, never change. Until next time, ta-ta.
That was a HeadGum podcast.